All right, gentlemen, we are live.
Well, hi, everybody. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the second set of the finals of USA1 for the mixed. These are the folks, the winner will represent the US at the World Championships in Marrakesh this fall. And first set, sounds like there were a lot of fireworks, but pretty even, only a 6-imp difference going into the second set. So we got a lot of bridge left to play. All right, they're going to play 8 sets over 2 days. And we've got 2 very good teams here, and the pairs at this table are all very, very strong players. So Kevin Dwyer and Sandra Rimstead, I don't know that they're a very regular partnership, but Kevin's married to Sandra's sister. So, you know, that means they must play really well together. I don't know. And Debbie and Michael are married. They don't play together a ton these days, but they have played together plenty. So it should be a lot of fun. And here we go. So Michael's opened a spade. And we got a 3-heart preemptive overcall. And now Debbie has a very good hand with support here. And it's worth noting that because there's no preempts over a preempt, jumping to 4 spades here would show a pretty good hand. And so Q-bidding 4 hearts is a spade raise, but it shows some slam interest, which is a big bid by her. You know, it's, you know, she's minimum for that for sure. And now Kevin's double here of the Q-bid is lead directing. It says, I have the ace or king of hearts, and, you know, you can lead a heart. If you have like ace, queen, 6th or 7th or whatever, you can lead a heart. Michael has a pretty good hand. You know, he was close to upgrading this to a no trump. And so he redoubles here, showing a first round heart control. But I imagine Debbie's just going to sign off in 4 spades here. She's minimum for her Q bid. And so we'll probably just play in 4 spades. Which you got a heart loser, you got to pick up the trumps, the diamond finesse doesn't work, or I mean, sorry, the club finesse doesn't work.
Close make.
Yeah, it should make.
I mean, even if you guess spades right, it's still 1 loser in spades.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Michael's a very thoughtful player. So he'll take his time here because you do have this 3rd round heart loser that you need to do something about, whether it's set up the clubs and throw it there or rough it. So there's plenty of work to be done on this hand.
So what do you think the right play is at trick 2 then from Declare's hand?
I mean, they're playing imps so you know, over tricks don't matter. So there's certainly something to be said for winning the 2nd round of hearts and just playing the jack of clubs out of your hand and giving up the king, but setting up the whole club suit in the dummy. You could also rough the 3rd round of spades, and if it gets over roughed, you know, that's the queen you were going to lose anyway. You could cross over in diamonds and take the club finesse. There's lots of possibilities here. Right, the odds are certainly going to favor playing south for the queen of spades. So you'd like to not have to rough. You'd like to be able to play king of spades, jack of spades, and run it, and be able to do that again, and maybe pick up a stiff 9 or something. And he is playing the ace here because Sandra could easily have 7 hearts, and so it's dangerous to duck the first one once Kevin plays the king, and the king is just normal to unblock here. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what he does here at trick 2.
There's probably some concern with the jack of clubs play resulting in potentially a club rough.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, if North had a singleton club, there's a good chance they would have let it. I mean, they could have king 4th and South can get a rough. So there's certainly something to be said for just drawing trumps, but then you do have this heart that you have to deal with. And if you lose 2 hearts, a club, and a spade, you're down.
Given that Declare can assume North's heart holding and that South doubled, how often do you think North would prefer to lead a singleton club over a heart in this auction?
Yeah, it's a fair question, but you know that Declare has the ace of hearts, so it's not clear how many heart tricks you're going to be setting up, like at most 1. Singleton leads are always pretty attractive, especially if you have a couple trumps. So yeah, we can't totally take the inference that North can't have a club singleton, because yeah, queen jack 6th or 7th is pretty attractive, especially when partner has shown the king. Yeah, I mean, this is why Michael's taking a long time here. This is a hard hand. It kind of looks easy on the surface, but there's a lot of danger lurking. There's also the possibility, I guess, of taking a diamond finesse. That doesn't seem very likely, but if North had the queen of diamonds, you could throw a heart on the 3rd round of diamonds. It's hard to imagine that would be the choice here. But it is another possibility of how to get rid of that heart loser. At match points, like, you would really like to take the club finesse, and if you can pick the club suit up for 5 tricks, you can throw both hearts away. So he's just going to go for a rough here. It seems like a fairly straightforward line, but you do risk losing two trump tricks. And now, yeah, Sandra doesn't really know what's going on, but the diamond looks relatively safe. You might think of just reflexively leading a trump because Declare is trying to get roughs, but he only needs 1 rough, and you don't want to solve the whole spade suit. Oh, excuse me. Sneeze coming. So yeah, now he's in the dummy. He might take a spade finesse. He might take a club finesse. He might just play ace of spades, and no, he's not going to do that. He needs the jack and 10 for drawing trumps. I mean, he could play king of diamonds, diamond rough, like the 3 of diamonds switch looks like it's from 3 or 4 of them, but could be a singleton. This really is a fascinating hand. Right.
I am going to point out the other table looks like they maybe had an accident. They've ended up.
Oh, yikes, 3 to trouble.
3, no, wow.
That just drifted off 4.
Well,
Something-
if the club suit comes home.
It's not a hopeless contract.
Yeah, if the club suit comes home, you have 9 tricks, but. Or if the spade suit comes home, you have 9 tricks. Right, so now he can rough the heart. He's going to lose to the 9 of spades, but that's okay. He can afford to lose to the 9 of spades and the king of clubs and make his contract. I wonder if Kevin had ducked the spade here.
Well, I mean, he still has a lot of danger here. I mean, we can see that he doesn't have the most danger, but Declare still has a lot of choices. He still has to worry about that singleton club. He has to worry that if he plays a club to the ace and tries to knock out the spade, that maybe they'll be able to cross to the king of clubs and get a rough with the 5 of spades. He's got to be that if he runs the club initially, they might get a spade rough. There's a lot of concerns here for Declare still.
For sure.
And he still has to find somewhere to park the heart. Although it does look very likely they're going to be picking up a sizable swing regardless of the outcome at this table at this point.
Yeah. Even if.
Well, it's hard for him to go down at this point.
Yeah.
As the cards lie.
Certainly not impossible though. You could still, if you're afraid of 4-1 clubs, you could still go down for sure. Club to the ace and a spade out will knock you down
Right.
after roughing the heart. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the club is pitched.
Oh, that's interesting.
Does that wait? That sort of makes the club safe now, doesn't it?
Yeah, because Kevin can't get over to Sandra with the king of clubs.
Right. If a club goes to the ace and a spade goes out, a diamond return won't really work.
it does, but it's actually transposed the problem because before he wanted to run the club and now he actively cannot run the club or
Right.
he'll go down. If he finesses the club now, he's down.
I mean, with the club pitch, it doesn't really look like club finesse is going to be on.
I agree. It does feel like the king of clubs is off here, but
I mean, I don't really see a reason to not. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't just play a club to the ace. I mean, like after the pitch, you know that there's not going to be a club rough anymore.
yeah, actually, I think this, as Kaplan has pointed out in chat, I think he's down now. Even if you play a club to the ace and a spade, South can exit, presumably the
Queen of diamonds.
queen of
Queen of
diamonds.
diamonds.
And now West is going to tap themselves out before they can set up the 3rd club.
Well, yeah, I mean, South just gets the spade rough.
Right, but I mean, even if he tried to rough a diamond back to his hand and then pull the trump, he still had to knock out the king of clubs and
Right.
trumps.
It does look like he's going to go down. He should have played the jack of clubs at trick 2.
It certainly would have been a winning line on this hand.
Yes.
But even still, he's going to get 300 in for his efforts.
Yeah, so he's already lost 1 trick. He has to lose the king of clubs.
The club. A club back and the
Now she needs to play a club and give Kevin the rough.
It probably still doesn't matter.
Right, as long as Kevin finds the queen of diamonds, right? If Sandra plays a heart here, you know, Michael knocks out the 9 of spades, Kevin has to play the queen of diamonds. And they're all taking their time here. This is a tricky hand, and they're in the finals, you know, with the trip to the World Championships on the line. Now, the loser of this match will still have a chance because the US sends 2 teams. So there's a second round of repechage going on. So the loser of this one will get to have another shot. But both teams would very much like to just win this match and be done with it.
Right.
So Sandra's probably going to think for a second just to make sure that there's not so not missing anything, but all roads here lead to down 1.
Yeah, that's his only real chance at this point. I'll just claim down 1. And he'll be frustrated with himself. I mean, his line was very reasonable, but wasn't the winner today. It's so easy when we're looking at all the hands. We're like, oh, jack of clubs. What's the problem? But it's like we said, still 7 imps.
Bring the match, change the leader and make it a 1 imp difference.
There we go. Pass 7. 14. Will she open a no trump here? I don't know what their style is.
They, based on the fact that Michael didn't open a no trump with the previous hand, I think they're relatively conservative relative to the expert world anyway.
Right. Relative to us. So very normal takeout double here. I doubt that they play transfers or anything here, so he'll just bid a spade. And Sandra will probably bid some number of hearts. You know, it's not a very good hand, but she's got a fit for sure. No support double with only 2 of them. Double with only 2 of them. And Kevin has a good hand and his partner just made a free bid. King of spades might be poorly positioned. He's not vulnerable. He's not going to go crazy. And Michael's probably going to bid 3 clubs here, right? He's not going to sell out to 2 hearts, and he knows his partner doesn't have 3 spades. And I imagine Kevin's going to compete here. He's got a pretty good hand and nice hearts. He knows his partner. I mean, his partner very likely has 5 hearts here, given all the bidding. Yeah, I mean, Michael's told his story. Debbie knows they have a lot of clubs, but bidding 4 over 3 here is a lot. So I think this is going to end it. Yeah. And let's see, you got 2 clubs and the ace of diamonds off the top and the ace of spades.
Nothing else.
And you're going to, yeah, finesse the spade. I mean, it's
There's no way to get spades wrong.
right. Not on this end. So this should be a nothing.
The other table had an interesting
1 diamond.
an interesting auction where they opened a club with the east hand. South made their takeout double, West bid a spade, and that ended the auction.
Oh, that says a spade. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
This is
hard.
insane.
It's very hard to read.
The auction was a club by East, double a spade, and that ended the auction.
Yeah, I think North has a 2-heart bid for sure. Like, you don't have a great hand, but you know you have at least eight hearts. And bidding 2 hearts there doesn't show like a great hand. You just have to compete here with a 5th.
Right, partner just can't bid. Also, hi, Jolly said I should pop in and say.
Oh, hey, Adam. Good to
Because
see you.
because I was hanging out in the chat anyway, and he's like, you should come in and just talk.
The more the merrier.
Yes, I figured I would at least come say hello. And yes, I definitely agree with you. It puts way too much pressure on partner.
Yeah, I mean, as South, I would have doubled again with that hand, but yeah, but you take the inference. Well, partner didn't bid over 1 spade. Oh,
Right. So they're pretty limited, and you don't really like. Yes, you have a little bit extra, but not that much.
right, and your king of spades looks like it might not be working. So
Yeah, I have a lot of sympathy.
yeah,
Also, because maybe they are having, maybe they're not on the same page about whether 1 spade is forcing, right? They might actually.
right.
just-
That is odd.
and
Like, most
balance
people
them.
do play
Right.
1 spade there is forcing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
so they could be
balanced.
missing a game.
Then the combination of those things makes it really feel that way.
Yeah.
But here, North, I'm surprised North didn't. It is just rebid 3 diamonds, which feels kind of non-forcing.
Yeah, it feels like a 2 spade bid or something. I mean,
Yeah, because you just want to play 3-0 if partner has.
if partner has a stopper, you have 6 tricks for them.
Yeah.
So, Queen of Spades lead or something here, and you just 6, 7, 8, 9 tricks.
Right, exactly.
Ace of Spades, just in case you catch a singleton honor or something, you have an entry with the Ace of Clubs, so it's no big deal. Your partner's basically broke. And I imagine this will be claimed pretty quickly once they, make sure the diamonds are running.
Yes. There's not too much to it as long as they just knock out the king of spades as they're doing. Claire is just going to run diamonds and
Right. Make sure there's not 9/6 of diamonds. Yeah, he's done. Thought maybe he's playing against Rosenberg, so he'll just play them all out just to mess with him.
You'd want to others as you would have one to you, something along those lines.
Yeah, but the USBF is doing a really good job of timing these things and looking at how long each partnership is taking, and so no one wants to mess around with wasting time, which is good. It's really the pace this year has been so much better than in previous years. I know there was the controversy in the Open with 1 match getting swung, but overall, I think it's been a huge plus and a good argument for using these tablets or laptops they're using this year.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
played with them for the first time, actually, well, in the round robin of this event, but I was a fan.
Yeah.
Brian, have you played with them, the tablets yet? Or
Oh, I don't think so.
no, you haven't. Okay.
Yeah.
Because uh, for the junior trials, we didn't even end up going.
Right, because you're on the under 16 team, right?
Right.
So you were sort of no trials necessary.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it looks like Kevin and Sandra play 3 diamonds here as a mixed raise, which is getting more and more common, using 2-no trump as limit raise or better. And I'm not surprised that Michael didn't overcall 2 clubs, red against white especially, but he's pretty sound to begin
He must
with.
be pretty surprised when his partner bids 4 clubs.
Yeah, he's
Right.
going to be a very happy camper here.
Right.
He's got a 4 spade cubit, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine having a much better hand for a partner who's red, white, and bidding on the 4 level.
Right.
The only interesting question is some people, in fact, play that 4 clubs here shows clubs and hearts, right? And sort of.
Oh, right, like a non-leaping Michaels sort of thing.
5 clubs looks like a good stack. But that's assuming they can make 4 spades by guessing diamonds correct.
Yes.
Yeah, 5 diamonds looks like it's down 1.
5 diamonds?
5 clubs, I mean, sorry.
You have a preference for diamonds here. You used
Oh, I love them.
diamonds earlier too.
Yeah, well, they're a girl's best friend.
Mhm. Yes.
Where 4 spades, you got 2 hearts off the top and the ace of diamonds, and you have to pick up the jack of diamonds.
And you'll be a little disappointed, honestly. You know, if you figure out East has like 7 clubs or something, and
Right,
3
yeah,
and a spade, you probably will play East to not to have the jack.
Would 5 clubs even get doubled?
So
I mean, yeah, it's tough. Neither North nor South has any defense.
Right. North is holding 4 spades and 0 defense outside of that pretty much. And South, I mean, has the ace of spades, but other than that, nothing is really certain.
Right. But I mean, I think the 4 diamonds claimed ownership of the hand, and it's hard to be in a forcing pass at these colors. But
I think it's interesting whether, I mean, with Michael's hand, you don't even feel that good passing 5 clubs, to be honest. Like, his hand's quite good. And
yeah,
for a
right.
partner to have overcalled 4 clubs, red, white.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Debbie's doubling, just, I don't think we're making 6 clubs, and, you know, I have enough defense. But Michael, yeah, you're right. He's got to be thinking about 6 clubs here, but, you know,
doubles, that's
Yeah.
right.
If partner doubles and you have queen and a spade, that's very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're holding 2 aces and the queen of spades.
Yeah. Just take your plus score here.
I mean, you have to feel a little bit sympathy for Sandra here, who heard her partner bid 4 diamonds.
Yeah, you're holding 5. You're holding queen 10 9 5th.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I 4 diamonds in this auction is less so a slam going bid and much more, I think, sort of trying to help partner evaluate their hand for competing, knowing that the opponents are likely to bid on.
Right.
Sort of trying
And
to
it's
right.
Right. And I think it is claiming ownership of the hand and like saying, I think we're making 4 spades, so that you have a better idea what to do over 5 clubs.
Somewhat, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it says I was going to bid 4 spades and I'm doing this along the way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily such an affirmative statement about making 4 spades as it is just a statement that I was going to bid 4 spades.
Right.
You know, do with that as you please.
Right.
Now, had Kevin chosen to bid 4 hearts rather than 4 diamonds, which I think would actually be my choice here, since this would have made Sandra's hand look a lot worse
Right.
and might have actually saved them here.
That being said, it doesn't take much swapping around with the east-west cards for them to be absolutely cold for 5 clubs. And
Oh.
5 spades to be a very good stack.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly. So and I mean, even having bid 4 hearts, it's not clear that he would have sold out anyway. But
Yeah, it's hard not to take the insurance with the club void.
yes, and Steph makes a good point in chat as well that something about bidding 4 diamonds or 4
Oh, wow,
hearts.
he got the diamonds right.
Well done.
I wonder why.
Now it'd be a very cheap stack.
Yeah, but I'm surprised he got diamonds right, actually.
I am too. I mean, I would think you would test the hearts first.
He may have thought that East's call was more on strength and West's call was more on distribution. He may have thought that West had 6 clubs and East had like more of like the ace of diamonds and perhaps a more balanced hand. I mean, not immediately clear, but right, it seems like not totally outside of the realm of possibility.
That's true. That's true.
Move a club, I mean,
Good.
switch a club and a diamond from the east-west cards. Auction would be very much be the same.
Well, and just going back to this point in chat, because I do think it's interesting to discuss. You know, a lot of people play that bidding for a red suit as south there sets up a forcing pass
Yeah.
for the partnership, right? To Adam's point of it being sort of, you know, hey, I'm bidding for spades, and I think we have a shot at making it. Maybe you know, I think 4 of a red suit does set up a forcing pass, where just bidding for spades does not.
Right.
As we get into this auction, I'm gonna another 3-no down 4 east-west at the other table in this hand.
Wow.
Vulnerable under tricks do start to add up.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, north and south are not bidding at all here. And so, yeah, it can be very easy to wind your way into no trump.
What's your choice with the east hand on this auction, knowing that 1 no trump looks like it was unequivocally forcing? Presumably 2 clubs can be done on a certainly a 3-card suit. I'm curious. I'm guess given the lack of alert, not 2, but what would you bid with the east hand in this auction?
I mean, it's pretty hard not to raise. You have a minimum, but that's a lot of clubs.
Yeah, I think it's a question of you know, if partner had opened a heart and when we switched the majors, for example, you have this, you know, impossible 2 spade bid available. It looks like they have some system here as well to handle these, but you know, one way or the other, you kind of want to make a maybe less value showing, more just courtesy raise almost.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of people over 2 clubs now are playing 2 diamonds as a transfer to hearts, or, you know, some various other hand types here. And that frees up 2 hearts for other things. So it looks like showing some sort of good club raise, maybe. And Michael has a good hand. Did we get an explanation of 3 clubs? Yeah, better raise.
They're unfortunately short a few aces for the 5 level
Yeah.
1, but
Yeah, from Michael's point of view, like, what does his partner need for 3-no trump to be good?
I would start with a diamond stopper.
Yeah, diamond stopper would be good. You need some cards and hearts.
But as south, what are you leading against 3 now? I mean, you probably lead the queen of diamonds and strike gold, but
Thankfully, it
or the ace of diamonds.
doesn't really matter that much. Not for the defense anyway. But they have 6 club tricks, but not really much else.
But Debbie might pull this. I mean, she's got a lot of tricks and no trump, but she's shown a good hand with 6 high card points.
Yeah, but if you were gonna pull it, then you probably don't. I don't know, feels like maybe you show a different hand, right?
Yeah.
You have 7, yeah, 7 club tricks is a lot of club tricks to add on this auction, like.
Yeah.
It's not even clear that you've really, other than the fact that you're missing your scattered stuff to stop them from running. A different suit. No, she did pull it.
Because the thing is, if partner's 5-4, it's hard to have enough stuff in the red suits. He could be 5-3, which I guess is more likely when you have 7 diamonds or 7 clubs here. I did it again, Kaplan. But yeah, I mean, it's just hard for partner to have enough in the red suit. So a good decision here. I mean, it's going to be down 1, but
Give partner the ace of spades instead of the king in the same hand, right? Now you're on a finesse for 5 clubs and 3-0 is still hopeless.
yeah,
I think at the very least, it's probably right to pull. It's a question of perhaps whether you pull to 4 or 5. And
right. Because this is not a situation where 4 could be a slam try, right? She's limited her hand with 1 no trump.
right, she's limited her hand, so it doesn't feel that way, but yeah.
That being said, you could also give partner the king of diamonds and the ace of spades, and then. Without any of your other cards, just give them their club cards and the ace of spades and the king of diamonds, and all of a sudden 3-0 is.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, but
Even still, you only have 8 tricks, don't you?
Well, presumably you can get one of them in the red suits, right? You have 8 and hopefully 1 in the 9, 1 in the red suits.
Potentially.
this is the second hand out of what 4 that we've played where East-West goes down but gained 7 imps by just being in the better down game.
Yeah, so yeah, this will be 14 imps in the first. 4 or 5 boards they've swung just by fewer vulnerable under tricks. Down 4 versus down 1 vulnerable both times. Thankfully, this duck for north-south isn't gonna cost them anything, because while they have already set up a heart pitch. Doesn't
Do anything,
do anything.
right? He can pitch a diamond and now he's down to 1 diamond loser after starting with 1 diamond loser. Oh, I guess, no, Michael's playing it, right? So he's going to try to finagle a way to make this, but
Yeah, I mean, he can tell that once he plays trumps, he gives away the entire show.
Yeah.
And here now the pressure is on. The king of hearts at trick 1 is pretty suspicious, especially but Xander is able to figure out to play a diamond. But this was sort of his best shot at preventing them from being able to discard or pass any information. Just say, hey, good luck figuring it out.
yeah. So a club, a diamond overcall. Is Kevin gonna bid a no trump or pass? I'm a passer, but he's more aggressive than I am, I'm guessing.
Kind of like 1 no.
I mean, it gets your hand across in 1 bid. You're a little light for it, and your 4 3 3 and your stoppers, meh. but I would pass, and I would guess most experts would bid. But I like this free bid to be more in the 8 to 10, 8 to 11 range. And Sandra might bid 3 clubs here. South denies a 4-card major in theory. So the chances that they have 3 clubs are pretty good. You don't really want to let them play 2 diamonds. So
Well, the thing is that
Put
if
your
you
red
put
light.
3 clubs there, that usually shows extra values, right?
well, does it? I mean, we're just trying to not let them play 2 diamonds. Like you have
Well,
this
you
is
can always double with the north hand, right? If you really want to bid.
yeah, you could double. I mean, this is why people play things like nuns. They're like good, bad, 2-no, right?
Right.
Sort out this sort of hand, maybe with an extra club where you really want to be able to compete, but you don't want to, because you do need to be able to show extra values with club length.
Right. Right. Yeah. And so it's a question of does double and then clubs show more or less than bidding clubs immediately.
I mean, I don't think 3 clubs directly is a bridge bid, like, because it's, you need to be able to show extras somehow, and in these sorts of auctions, you prioritize trying to get to the right game over trying to compete for part scores in some cases. So I mean, I think maybe North could have doubled. Maybe they have some sort of good, bad 2-no where they could do that, but
Yeah. I think passing is not bridge. I mean, red against white, sure, you can make an argument for it, but
no, I think pass is very reasonable. I mean, partner could just be sitting over there with 4 good diamonds. Like, what are we competing about? If partner has, if partner has 4 of their 8 or 9 points in diamonds, or 5, whatever it is, we're really not all that thrilled about competing.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, it is imp, so but I mean, a 5 or 6 imp swing when they're making 2 diamonds and you're making 3 clubs. I don't know. I would bid.
How many tricks are we expecting here in diamonds? It looks like they're up to 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like maybe just in for a push.
How did West end up in 1-no trump at the other table?
Well, presumably if you pass, you might just bid 1-no with the West hand.
If South passes, you mean?
Yeah.
Wait.
I can tell you. Give me a second.
I mean, if my partner overcalls diamonds and I have ace third of diamonds, it's hard for me not to raise.
Yeah, they just bet a no trump over on the auction where South passed.
Oh, right, because we have someone who would rather play the hand than let his partner play the hand.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's reasonable to.
That'll be a push.
You're 4-3-3. I don't know. It's not like the end of the world to bid 1-no with that hand. Like,
If partner has a good hand, I'd rather play 1-no than 2 diamonds.
right.
With 3 little clubs.
They didn't shove very many clubs.
Looks like the normal 4 hearts.
And West is just going to have to pass. I mean, he has an
Yeah.
opening hand, but
This looks like a fairly simple bidding to 4 hearts and then lose a club and 1 or 2 spades.
I have a lot of students who would double with the West hand, but
I actually, if partner was not a passed hand, that's a very different story. I don't think I would do it still, but
I think
you know,
with,
give me a little better hand, I'd be tempted.
I mean, 4 triple three takeout doubles are tough to begin with, but when your 4-card suit is the one they opened,
Three roughing values.
yeah, you're aiming at a low, a pretty narrow target there. So we'll see some sort of new minor forcing here, and I'm sure they play 2-way. But she'll probably invite.
Right, it's an interesting evaluation.
It's a close one, but the king doubleton of diamonds is pretty good in your 5-4-2-2. I would force the game. Yeah, she's gonna force. So 2 diamonds is game forcing, kind of check back. And I don't know if they show the 4 spades first or the 3 hearts, but yeah, they show the spades, but they'll make it to hearts anyway. All right, she can bid 3-0 and or 2-0, and he can show his hearts. There's no real reason for him to pass here with a small doubleton in clubs. So
In the USA2 match, or in the 2 USA2 matches, they're both still quite close. We have a difference of 12 with Lewis leading Dinkin and a difference of 8 with Wildowski leading Capoletti. So lots of post bridge still happening, which is always good.
Yes, and also lots of imps flying around. Our first set, we saw about close to 100 imps change hands.
5 imps aboard exactly on the first set.
So there is some work to be done here. You have 4 club losers. Both the ace queen are on side on this hand, so it's kind of easy, but you have to decide, am I going to try to rough the clubs? Am I going to set the spades up? Do I put in the jack of diamonds here and hope they let away from the queen? Do I put in the 8 and see if Michael plays the 9 or if he plays the queen? You have to guess the spades.
Right, well, suppose Declare does put in the 8, right?
Yeah,
Michael does have a little bit of a decision to make in that he knows his partner doesn't have much in the way of values, but they could just barely have the king of diamonds.
right. And this is a sort of situation where you might well lead away from your only honor because partner has values. So I would guess a spade at trick 2. Spade to the jack.
Seems right, because you kind of
Yeah,
have a sense of how many things you maybe need to rough.
yeah.
Debbie's 7 probably looks like count, so maybe Michael could have worked out to duck there, but yeah, he can't be certain that Debbie didn't lead us a singleton diamond even.
Right. So you're going to get 1 club pitch on spades now, assuming the queen of spades is on side. So you're still going to need maybe a rough in clubs. So I think you play a club at this point.
You
But
might
eventually,
though, right? I mean, it's possible that they let low from 10-9, but you might actually just play to take a roughing diamond finesse and leave the clubs for later.
that's true. Yeah, 10 of diamonds is an interesting card.
The other table did take 11 tricks in this contract, so that's what we're up against. they, yeah, ace queen third of clubs, came to light at the other table where they were actually able to, see it roughed out.
Hmm.
That was how they were able to get their fourth club taken care of.
I would think Michael would be prepared for a club off the dummy and not be thinking here.
I think this is actually a bit of a side effect of the way that the clocks work, in the sense that playing against a fast opponent, it's actually a little bit more harmful to take time at trick one. And you can, and you know, I think he was more working about out here what to do after winning the ace of clubs. But you know, you're under a little bit more pressure to play quickly at trick one versus.
I mean, doesn't the clock like not start at trick one? Don't they give some general
Wait, how
table
does the
time at trick one?
like 5 or 6 seconds, I think.
I think it's the full 10 from opening lead before declare is played from dummy is shown to the defenders.
It might, yeah, it might be. I know there's some time built in, but it's not a huge amount of time. Especially to sort of process everything that's going on. I remember in third, you know, for me, I still felt like I wanted a few more seconds often before playing to trick one. And
Yeah, I mean, trick one is supposed to be communal table time. Now, you can't take 10 minutes or something, but 10 seconds doesn't seem like quite enough.
And here we're gonna see a similar,
Right, now it's just draw trumps and take the spade finesse again.
don't even have to do that, the queen of clubs has come down.
Oh, the queen of clubs, you're right. You're right.
Just in case Michael got a little tricky with ace queen third of spades over there.
Right. He's certainly capable of it. So, little push
Back to back rare pushes in the
in this match.
match.
Yeah.
I don't think Michael will open this hand. Some people would, but they seem to be pretty sound. But third seat, one diamond with a good suit looks pretty normal. And what sort of raise are we making here? 3 diamonds?
you know, ace and a club makes this look of, it makes this feel a bit more like a limit raise.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 clubs. You are a passed hand, so you're limited. And now Michael has a great hand. I'd expect like 3 spades here, which kind of implies a fifth. Right, he can't have just such a good spade suit as a passed hand that he's
Right.
coming without a fit. If you're going to 4 clubs anyway, you might as well get to 4 spades if partner has a fit, and that contract pays a game bonus.
Well, the challenge is that if you were 6-4 in the majors, you may have chosen not to preempt, and now you may want to bid. And so there's a bit of a fear that bidding through, I mean, personally, I think 3 spades does show at least some club tolerance, if not more.
Yeah,
But there is a fear that sometimes you might get frozen out.
right.
You had 6-4 and couldn't bid.
It'll partially depend on how often you pass holding something like queen, jack, 10, 9, 6, and king, 4 of hearts.
Ooh, 3-0 with ace and 1. We'll see if they make a good pull again.
This
I
one
mean,
feels tougher to pull.
It feels really tough to pull.
Hard to blame Debbie all that much. I mean, they could just have 9 winners. Like,
Well, I mean, you need partner to have ace third or fourth of clubs, and that only gets you to 7 tricks,
Yeah, Yeah.
right? You need like ace queen of spades, or 2 aces or something. I think it's rich.
it's not clear that 4 clubs is all that much fun either necessarily, though. There might be
Well, some
insight.
additional context here. The other table is in 5 clubs and they are going to make it.
Oh,
Right? Like you have 2 aces to lose and you just need the queen of hearts on side.
Well, and you may not even-
Or rough the spades out.
Well, at some point they'll put you to a guess, right?
Probably, yes, but
Well-
you can imagine they'll lead a diamond and they'll win the ace of clubs and put a heart on the table. And yeah, you will have to guess, but I don't know. I think I would pass in this auction with Michael's hand. I Q bid, I showed my hand kind of, partner bid 3-no, they could have 2 diamond stoppers.
Right.
And you've got a bunch of junk.
It doesn't look like we have 11 tricks in clubs necessarily.
No, I'd actually say that it's after the 3-no bid, you're less likely to have 11 tricks and clubs, but Michael has found the pool.
Well done.
Oh, and Debbie let it go.
Yeah, I think she should.
Yeah.
Should.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty minimum.
I mean, on this auction, isn't it pretty understandable for them just to have 3 losers somewhere?
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
it's kind of a perfect fit. That if you take away the 10 of hearts, even, it's not clear that they can make game.
Yeah. But I mean, to pull here, partner's likely to have a singleton diamond.
Yes, I agree with that.
So, your losers go down based on that, but yeah, 3 little hearts. But partner did make a limit raise.
They're a past hand.
Yeah. But I mean,
In a stiff diamond, they must have.
something.
They
Yeah.
have some shape, so they probably don't have a full 11, let's say, the stiff diamond. I don't know.
And they ducked the ace of clubs here, so.
Right. So now it's a little simpler, right? Just rough the spades out.
You do still have to, I mean, they're still gonna put you at a heart guess, but it's for 11 tricks, not 10. No one really
Right.
worried about 10.
Right. Diamond rough and the spade and pitch a heart. Right. And no matter what Kevin's holding in hearts is, he's playing a small heart here.
But he's a past hand. He showed up with the ace of hearts and the queen of clubs, sorry, the ace of clubs and the queen of spades. And likely the jack of diamonds. So if he had the ace of hearts, he might have opened the bidding.
Yeah.
And he actually definitely would have opened the bidding, so.
Yeah.
Right. So Debbie quickly played the jack of hearts.
Yeah. Well, she also knew like it didn't matter very much in 4 clubs, right? If she got it wrong.
Right. I mean, you still want to take the time you need to, you don't want to be throwing away one imp
No.
nilly, but yes. And here's a hand I would certainly
Open a no trump. Yeah.
if
Yeah,
they're-
but that's not their style.
right.
The irony being that if you open a no trump, South is probably going to bid some number of spades,
Right.
some form or fashion.
Shows spades and clubs or something, spades and a minor.
The other table also opened a spade, and are now playing 1 no trump by West.
Yeah, that seems about right. Right. I mean, it seems like
The
one no
problem,
trump response and a pass.
well, I mean, the problem is playing. West is a past hand, so it's like not quite so bad, but you're accepting any invite with the East hand, right?
Right. That's the problem. Like,
Which means you kind of have to bid again, which is what we're seeing here.
right. But I mean, with Drury, he can't have the 3 card limit raise. So what could he have? A balanced 11 count?
Yeah. Balanced 10 counts, a lot of balanced 10 counts, maybe
right?
number of balanced 11s.
Which is why, like, I feel like either the hand is worth accepting an invite and you open a no trump, or it's not, and you can just open a spade and pass a no trump. I don't think there's much room in between, or any room in between. So that's one of the criteria I look at when I'm deciding, am I upgrading a hand like this, is, am I okay passing a semi-forcing no trump? I think well, as a passed hand, it's got to be semi-forcing. And now Michael's like, do I go back to spades? Do I show my hearts? Do I just pass clubs?
South is happy with either spades or clubs.
Yeah. And North is happy with hearts. So
Yeah.
they don't have a lot of good landing spots here.
Not really.
I think at this point, they just need to try and make sure they escape undoubled from whatever they end up doing.
Yeah.
2 diamonds.
So this is some sort of this like Bart sort of thing, showing hearts.
And Debbie's probably thinking she's fine because just King Doubleton, but North is like,
Yeah, she's obviously plenty happy to play 2 hearts, and Michael's thinking that his hand is certainly more likely to be valuable in hearts than anywhere else. I don't exactly know how often they bypass this 2 heart call. I don't know if it at least promises a doubleton.
Yeah, I think so.
I
But-
think so as well.
Yeah. And what this 2 diamond transfer thing does is it also allows you to differentiate your strength when you go back to spades. That you can play like a direct 2 spades is really weak, and going through 2 diamonds is extras, or the other way around probably. That's why a lot of people like it so much. I've never actually played it, but a lot of people sing its praises. I'm more of a Gazilli fan, though I don't play that very often. Kaplan, do you remember the first hand we ever played Gazilli together? We agreed to play it. And it went,
Wipe that from my memory.
yeah. Well, we managed to, I had like a normal 2 club response. And so it was forcing with Gazilli, and we had to end up in 3 clubs down 1. And you were like, we're never playing Gazilli again.
No, I like the Zilli a lot. I think
Yeah.
that most of the time you lose a little bit when when you have the normal club rebid, but you just gain so much in making so many auctions much cleaner.
For those of you who don't know, Gazilli is after a major and no trump, 2 clubs by the opener can either be clubs or an artificial with a strong hand. And it solves this problem in standard bidding where you have 16, 17, 18 points and you're not quite strong enough for a jump shift, but you want to show some extra strength. Yeah. And
So-
people play it in different auctions, and some people play it could be clubs, some play it could be extra length in the majors. There's lots of ways to play it.
So here in the play, Kevin saw that since Dummy had 2 spades and Declarer opened a spade, he knew that Sandra could rough the second spade and wanted to make sure that she didn't pitch on if Declarer were to lead it from Dummy. So he just played the spade himself, allowing her to rough and keeping the club entry essentially to potentially give her a second rough.
Right. He also knows she has some heart length.
Right. Now today, in fact, they may wind up losing their diamond trick as the defense has gone, because Declarer will, assuming that she plays a club over and another spade through, Declarer may just pitch a diamond. And she's kind of roughing with natural trump tricks now.
Right. And since she doesn't want the rough, she might just play the king of diamonds right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that comes at the cost of, unfortunately,
Now he
Now-
plays ace of spades and throws a club.
exactly, now their club trick goes away. So
Bridge is hard.
but I think, from her perspective, it looks like it's probably break even. And if Kevin has the 10 of diamonds, then it may, she may come out ahead defending this way. So, I have some sympathy.
Yeah, what they actually wanted to do is obviously cash their club and then play a diamond, but that's it's difficult to convey playing a club back over to partner and getting them to play a diamond instead of a spade.
Yeah.
That was going to be difficult.
And presumably on the king of diamonds, Kevin's signal should have been about the 10 of diamonds, because they can see the jack and the dummy, so that she would know, do I need to get Kevin in to put the diamond through, or can I just cash my queen?
Do we know what's going on at the other table?
Yeah, they're playing one no trump in the West, and they're in a bit of a sticky in position where Shan can actually get out for down one on some in play.
Oh, King of Hearts.
But I think North can get out of it, so I don't think it really ends up mattering.
All right,
Yeah, I think they're gonna go down to at the other table.
I
yeah.
don't see how they're not. I don't see like how this. I think like this is just gonna be down 3. I don't see any way to make it more or less.
Yeah. Yeah. Sandra has really suggested that she doesn't want spade rough, so Kevin, is just going to put the diamond through.
You could have had the 10 of spades, you never know.
And she knows
Right.
that put in the 9 of diamonds here, because if Kevin had the 10, he would have let it to make her life, or to solve this problem for her.
Make her life very easy. Yes. Yes. So
Now she'll just get her 2
Yeah,
trumps.
just a queen 10 of hearts now. Nothing else.
Yes. 2 trumps and 2 imps for her trouble.
Which
Not
brings
a
us
great
back to a
hand
one
to
in.
be east west on.
Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Not a great hand to be east west on.
yeah, they didn't have a lot of good options there, especially once they didn't play in one no trump.
These hands are always worth a lot not always worth a lot, but they frequently can be worth a lot of imps, even going down. Just making sure you're going down the least amount possible.
This looks like east west has 4 hearts on the spade cast.
So it looks like, yeah, just a 1 heart opening and maybe some sort of diamond
Okay.
raise here. Oh, sorry, overcall, yeah. Diamond raise. Maybe a
Heart
heart
raise.
raise, depending on how high Sandra bids here, right? I mean, 3 diamonds is a lot.
Oh, double. Right.
Double trying to get the spades into the picture.
Wait, is there a reason it's alerted? Oh,
Oh, right, her partner opened, right, so it's just a negative double, Adam, and so 2 hearts is their weak bid, and
double is
double here is a support double.
Michael probably will go a little, but I don't think he's gonna go to game after the week raise.
Well, his king of spades rates to be worth a little more, since the ace feels like it's likely on side, and he does have, he can kind of see that just facing ace 3 of hearts and nothing else from partner, he's
So this is a pretty good
probably
shot.
making game.
Yeah.
But I like just blasting 4 hearts
Yeah,
sometimes.
and the thing is, there's
But
right, there's no really good descriptive game try here.
Yeah, 3 clubs doesn't really work since you have everything in clubs.
Right. There's no honors partner could have to up value. I mean, the jack, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
it doesn't really matter what partner has in clubs.
right.
Partner has 3, well, probably works out. If partner has 4, then you probably just run clubs anyways.
Right, so now Michael's gonna have to decide, since South opened in third chair, this is actually maybe an interesting situation.
Right. How bad is his hand?
I
Right.
mean, after
Because he's gonna see that North has the queen
With-
jack of diamonds from the opening lead, which gives South the ace king of diamonds.
Right.
and not the jack
Nothing in
of
clubs,
hearts,
nothing in hearts.
which would mean they would have opened on a 9 count.
They're
But
third seat non-vulnerable, and they
Yeah.
have a pretty good diamond suit where they
Right.
might.
Why did you do that?
Especially if they have ace king fifth of diamonds.
yeah, you can't really tell the count.
Yeah,
Although the 5 at trick 1 might give some. Would it?
Well, if Sandra
Lucky
switches to the
first.
deuce here,
Then
then it looks like they're 4-4.
well, if Kevin then cashes the 3rd round of diamonds and Sandra drops the jack.
Right.
It's not clear, but certainly the best the defense can do here is play the jack of diamonds to an honor and put a spade on the table.
Yeah, immediately me, I guess.
Yeah.
And at that point, Michael doesn't know who has the jack of hearts yet.
yes, that's a good point as well. And
So, like, because a 10-point opening would be slightly more reasonable, but
Right. But Kevin doesn't know that Sandra has 4
Has the
diamonds,
king.
so it's very reasonable for him to try to cash a third one.
No, but to your point, she has done a good job of concealing the 2.
Yes.
yeah. But what might give it away is that Kevin played the 5, trick 1, and then like you might wonder like why did he not play the 2? But then that could also be another false card.
that's a very good point, and it's something that Michael actually, I think, of all people, will sort of advocate or will pick up on, is that that 5 of diamonds is since it's the earlier that your opponents play their cards, the more likely those are to be honest. And
Right. So
I
at
think
this point, if you're assuming that diamonds are 4-4 and that South, if not holding the ace of spades, it has a max of 9 points.
Right. And if he has ace king fifth and the queen of spades, he might open 2 diamonds
That is also
in
true.
third seat. All right. I would expect Michael to get this right.
yeah, I think he will as well,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think-
want
I
to
mean,
go
like-
back. I think Brian's point about the 5 of diamonds is actually pretty key. That it's unlikely that South would have been in on the joke so much at trick 1 as to what this hand was about, that he would have signaled with the 5 of diamonds versus the 2. And so, if diamonds are 4-4, then it starts to feel a lot more likely that South has the ace of spades.
Right.
Right, because South is holding some sort of balanced hand with out the ace of spades, only a 9 count, not necessarily an opening bid, even white against red 3rd seat.
Yeah. Ace king ace just seems so much more likely than ace king and then a queen.
Yeah.
As was alluded to at the beginning of this segment, Michael is a very deliberate player.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
He's given Kevin credit for being super aggressive
Yes.
in third seat. And that's the thing, like, I saw this happen with Zia
What?
the other day in the open.
That's one strategy to recover from
nice
this.
try.
That is
There
the angry slam the claim button because you just got your guess wrong claim.
Right.
You should no. The best play is to claim before the trick and assume that the opponents know that you're gonna guess the spades right.
Right. Well, the only thing is you can't tell who rejected it. If we're going down that route, but
For what it's worth, having recently played like 90 boards against Kevin, he is a very aggressive opener in third.
That is true.
Right.
And aggressive openings works on more than one plane here, so you can sort of see, because he is known to open so aggressively, it led Michael to go wrong even when he didn't actually have the aggressive opening.
Right. And I saw something very similar from Zia in the Open where he made a lead, and I forget who it was, Hampson or something, played him to have like led low from King Doubleton of trumps or something like that, where you have a reputation, and on just a normal hand, that reputation can pay off for you.
All right. One heart loser.
so this lead.
There's a
won't-
chance to have two heart losers if you double finesse, but there's just not enough entries really.
Yeah,
to
you
do.
only have one entry, so you're not really gonna end up doing that.
Yeah, this lead, unfortunately.
Right.
Also,
The diamond
they let a
The
diamond.
lead makes life
Dummy.
much more difficult. Yeah.
Looks like you lose a heart and two clubs. Or
Yeah,
something like
I mean,
that.
I think from Debbie's point of view here, it looks like she's not gonna have enough transportation to do everything. She may just bang down.
Ace-
the heart.
ace of
Yeah, he's
hearts,
to the heart.
ace of diamonds, and
And then King Queen of Spades pitch two diamonds.
yeah.
And then you just take the two lost clubs.
Right, exactly. Like if you can play hearts for one loser, then you give
Yeah,
up. two clubs.
Ace of hearts big down.
Right. And
Honor
ace of
drops.
diamonds will pick up any 2-2 or any singleton honor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honor drops, hearts come in.
The other table did get off to a diamond, so we're going to see another swing here, because they are going to go down.
Yes,
Yeah,
they got off to a diamond lead and then misguessed clubs, I guess.
there's still a
Yeah,
chance of clubs, I guess, right? Because the spade can also pitch clubs. If you can guess clubs, oh, they went down.
You can just rough a diamond for your entry.
Right,
So you lose a diamond, a heart.
in the club.
But in
And
the
a
process
club.
of roughing a diamond,
It
you're forced
really
to-
depends on if you can guess clubs or not.
Yeah. So here it seems like Kevin can see that the spades are about to be set up for pitches.
Right.
Yet and has the 5 of hearts to get to the 6, which she has preserved, and so he knows that he needs to play clubs now, most likely, and so this actually now she probably will win the king of clubs, cross to the ace of diamonds, cash 2 spades, pitching things,
Pitching
and
two
then
diamonds.
she'll have the 5 of hearts to get to the 6
Right.
to enjoy
You
her
keep the
aces.
spades, rough with the jack or something. And then
Yeah.
make fly.
the imps certainly have not stopped flowing, although we did have a couple pushes in the middle to bring down our average, but
Yeah.
still seeing plenty of double-digit swings on the.
Both ways. Yeah.
I mean, the match itself is still quite close. I mean, even after this 13 imp swing,
Still only gonna
it's
be an
single
8 imp game.
Yeah. Still single digits here.
Yeah. It's amazing how an opening lead can swing so many imps.
Especially given that, it's been proven that the best players in the world can't even really hit north of 80% of their opening leads.
Right.
That's a pretty good hand Debbie has.
Yeah.
She'll double and bid no trump.
Will Kevin preempt?
Oh yeah. This looks like 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
Pass 3-0.
That looks to be pretty likely. 1, 2.
So, but based on the alert, it actually seems like he's bid 3 diamonds mixed with this hand, which
Wow. Mixed
little-
raise.
feels a little optimistic.
Yeah, but if it's all you have in your arsenal and you just feel like you need to get the
Well,
off,
Demi will probably still bid.
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, she has to bid 3-0 here.
On the diamond lane, Dorina Trump does look pretty good.
Well, it's tricky because you have to
You have to
guess.
navigate which suit you want to play first.
Exactly, like you know, as a today, South's entry is in hearts, which you may not actually try to. That might be the last suit that you would try to actually sort of establish.
Right. And the thing here is you're probably not going to get clubs right. If you finesse the 10, you're not going to do well.
Right.
Although
Which is
that's
the
not
normal way
necessarily
to play
true.
the suit.
For example, if it goes diamond, ace, diamond back, and then maybe spade stuck 2 rounds, then win the third, return another diamond, and then king of clubs. Although now on the heart return, and then if you finesse the club 10 to the jack, then you're down.
Right. And you're only missing, what, 16 points? 17 and 17, and you have a 3rd seat opening and a mixed raise, like, you know,
Yeah,
someone's
but
messing around.
wait, what's Sandra's relative opening style?
They are pretty aggressive.
Right,
And by pretty, I mean very.
right. She's probably not as aggressive as Kevin, but 3rd seat white.
Right.
But at the same time, if Kevin has five diamonds, right, you know, she's not opening in 3rd seat on nothing with no real diamond suit.
Right. I
So
mean,
very
you know that. I mean, it probably is on some strength because from your diamond holding, and you can probably tell, and from the mixed race, you can tell that the diamonds are not that long and probably not that strong either. So
Right, and with the 7 of diamonds coming back, it looks like the diamonds are 5-3, which
right,
is going to put her on 4-4-3-2, which is going to suggest the
club.
club
But
to
then
the
you have to think about what if, like, you have to know if it's ace small or ace jack, and ace small is the more likely possibility.
right.
The ideal would be if you can get to dummy to lead a club towards your king.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
But
But the problem is Sandra's gonna duck 2 rounds of spades. Unless
Well, this has got to be a situation where count overrules Smith if they're, you know, I assume they're
Right.
playing some sort of
I
Smith.
mean, after the jack of diamond signal, I think it's fairly certain that that South wants a diamond and that there's an entry in hearts.
yeah, and so in the other room.
Wouldn't a heart play be sort of an idea? Because you play the heart first to knock out South entry, given the jack of diamonds, it's fairly likely South entry is the king of hearts.
Yeah, especially with Sandra thinks so long in
It's
spades.
yeah, you know that Sandra has the ace of spades. Very likely that Kevin has the king of hearts.
Yeah, that is
So-
an interesting point, just putting the queen of hearts on the table right now.
Right, and if Sandra doesn't have the king of hearts without the ace of clubs, a 9 count with the pretty poor diamond suit is probably not an opening. Like, what's the point?
That's likely true. The only thing is here, you might play the king of spades with the idea that you're going to force them to duck 1 more round.
Right.
Oh, Dorito went down 3 at the other table. Yikes.
Yeah, they got it wrong. So here.
So king of
they
clubs,
switch
then
back to
probably a
clubs.
diamond back. And if you play even if you play clubs wrong, you're only down 2.
The other table is getting a little better. They were in 3-0 down 4 multiple times. Now they're 3-0 down 3. So we'll give it a few more rounds and they might make 3-0.
Or at least just go down 2.
Yeah,
Well, will it eventually be 3-0 Trump making 7?
I I think we'll get there eventually. It's a long match.
That's true. You never know how many times it's going to be in Reno Trump. Now you can't afford to play hearts.
Right. Exactly.
The
But
spade,
you know that you can afford to play spades. And now you
and so now
but-
now you're going to have to go guess the clubs.
exactly.
Because even with the spades coming in, you don't have enough tricks.
Right. Like she kind of has to at this point feel a little bit of regret for having not tried to knock out
Ducks.
sooner.
Wait. Well, no, you still have to play clubs correctly in order.
You do need nine tricks
Yeah.
right now.
If you had another spade trick that could come in without, yeah, now it's gonna actually be the clubs.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, there's just no
Oh,
reason
wow.
to get this right.
that's down one now. Heart back. I mean, I don't think she's going to finesse, especially after the jack and diamonds and the mixed raise.
Yeah, no, you have to, I mean, you just take your down one here.
Yeah, you just take it down. Not too big of a difference, down one, down two. But 1 and 2 him. No, 3
I
and
mean, you've seen that North has the ace jack, doubleton or tripleton of clubs. They have the ace of diamonds, they have the ace of spades.
Yeah.
And if they had a balanced 15 to 17 or 14 to 16, they would have opened a no trouble.
right.
So even though maybe there's not a huge difference, there's pretty close to 0% chance that North has
Yeah.
the king of hearts.
There's no reason to finesse hearts there.
So there's no right, exactly. There's no reason to give up an extra trick that you don't need to. And Debbie seems to agree. And has
Right, and it's, gonna win them 3 imps.
right. No, I mean she's done well to get out for down one as not she's no chance that she was going to get the clubs right unless
Oh, now we have a double-digit lead.
Yeah.
Even Michael has to open this hand, right?
White against red first. Like this looks very reasonable.
It meets the rule of 20.
Beats the rule of 22. Meets basically every rule.
And again, Kevin's sitting there with 5 spades. Like, what is going on?
Why do I keep having spades when my opponents have them?
I don't know. I'm much happier having spades and passing throughout than bidding
Yes, right.
and having the opponents have all of these spades. So,
But this is exactly the sort of situation that Gazilli is trying to solve. We talked about it earlier, that this 2 club bid has such a wide range that, with 8 points from Debbie's standpoint, they could have a game. Partner could have 17, 18 points. Oh, and are they playing 2 clubs as bar tier? Or it could be 3. All right, and this shows hearts.
we've seen this like
We have seen this auction before. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get to your heart fit. Such
Yeah.
as it is. I mean, we'd rather be in clubs on this hand, but. So we got a lot of work to do here.
Same contract at the other table, by the way.
Yeah. We got all these diamond losers to deal with. We can't rough too many times. We'd like to take a double finesse in clubs and set that up. That's not going to work very well. You might take a spade finesse just to try to get rid of one of these losers.
So an interesting point here is that if West when by bidding 2 hearts shows a doubleton, there's a lot to be said for leading trumps.
Leading trumps, even from queen third.
And I mean, I guess this hand is sort of self-evident as to why that's the case, but
Right.
well,
Well, they probably could have 3 hearts, but even so.
Right.
Um,
it's not like you're thrilled to be leading a diamond, I suppose.
right.
Here, the 9 of diamonds in the dummy will present an interesting problem for the defense potentially, although it looks like declarer is going to just play to rough 2 diamonds with their 2 little trumps in hand, which seems better.
Right.
How
Just
about like a spade rough, diamond rough, spade rough, club to the ace, spade rough, and at that point they'll have the king doubleton of hearts in the dummy and hope to be able to score 1 more heart trick, and maybe be sorely disappointed when that doesn't happen.
kind of scramble this home.
And East was successful at the other table. Or sorry, East was down 2 at the other table.
Down to, yeah.
You have an interesting definition of success.
I was watching the last trick and it said North South had 7 tricks, and I thought that was East West, and they were taking the last trick. So I thought, of course, that is 8. Fortunately, my reading comprehension has not greatly improved over the last decade.
Michael leading the queen of clubs just to see if something interesting happens. But he knows that, his plan all along is basically unchanged, which is to take this spade rough in the dummy and hope maybe to be able to scramble home with 1 more trick if the ace of hearts is with North. It's interesting. Maybe Sandra is supposed to rough with the queen of hearts, but and she knows that declarer can't have more than 1 more heart. It seems wrong to do it, but
It would feel silly if partner did have Jack Doubleton.
yeah, all right. Well, she has done it, and so now it'll be very clear to her to lead a trump, and that will go to the 10 Jack, and declarer will be limited to just 1 more trick and get out for down 1.
That will be down 1 and 2 imps.
I think East West have, if not yet, are very close to have swung 20 imps on this set and just under tricks on under tricking fewer than the East West and the other.
It sounds
Yeah.
about
Cash to the heart, play the spade down 1.
so 2 boards left in the set. Diamond, 2 clubs, 2 spades.
And as West after 2 spades, you kind of want to get in there and
You really do, but 2 little clubs.
double here to me is, usually 5 hearts and club tolerance, but
Right.
even
But a
that
little,
is still
a little more strength. Yeah.
So you probably just have to pass and hope that if it is your hand, partner will be able to.
Yeah.
take.
And Saunders just bidding for like easily singleton ace of clubs and
How
4.
many does this make?
When you double finesse and diamonds, so you lose a diamond. You can't mess the spades up. I mean, you have some work to do with all these club losers, but
You could also just start roughing things.
right, you could just kind of play it as a cross rough. Just take the ace of diamonds and
You sort of have some inferences that you kind of want to just start roughing things, given that East is overcalled 2 clubs, which means they probably don't have super long hearts. Which you could probably put West on at least 5. You know that East is going to have to follow to the clubs, West is going to have to follow to the hearts.
Right.
Some safety in the cross rough here.
right. Right, and if East has ace doubleton or tripleton of hearts, you can rough the king good. For whatever that's worth. And we know that the diamond honors in a vacuum rate to be split, but in this sort of auction, you're more likely than usual to have East with both of them, but playing diamonds doesn't seem like it can hurt. Okay, he's just going to cross rough at this point.
And here it's a very, very safe cross rough. Having seen the king of spades already.
Right. So that's a 6 trick. And he gets up to 10 in trumps, and then the king of hearts will be an 11th. Yeah, singleton king of spades made this pretty easy. Basically just claim his 11 tricks.
Yeah.
So well done. Not too hard. All right, last board of the set. It's been a fun one.
Slightly fewer imps on this set, but only slightly.
Right. So a no trump. Maybe overcall showing hearts in the minor. I don't know what their system is here. With such a concentrated hand, it's hard to not bid. That's probably
yeah.
plus a minor, yeah. Maybe like a takeout double here, try to find a spade fit. He's pretty light though, he's just gonna have to pass.
No, I think this is enough for a double. I mean, if
Yeah.
partner fits, if we're not that unhappy with an ace.
Yeah.
And otherwise, we want, if you pass here, you're just putting so much pressure on partner, and you're the one with the doubles in heart. Like,
Yeah, but you don't really want to hear 4 spades from partner.
well, you're not going to hear 4 spades from partner. Like,
Well-
you might hear 3 spades here, but that's probably good if that happens. And as it is, partner will probably pass and let you be able to double back in if you really have values and want to compete. And today you're just going to sit out 3 hearts and you've pushed them up a level. right? I mean, if you pass over 2 hearts, that's the end of the auction.
Yeah, that's true. And let's see.
The other table has elected not to overcall and is playing 1-no trump in the east.
So you got a heart loser, a spade loser, a diamond loser, a few clubs to deal with.
I predict Michael is leading a trump, but wow, he's actually surprised that he didn't. But this is another one of those auctions where, again, your side has the balance of power, and you don't really have any grand ideas of other things to be leading. So,
right,
you think that probably if they're going to make this, they're going to be making it by roughing losers. So you want to just start by cutting down on that as quickly as possible.
right. And Declare has this second suit that may well, be short and dummy, and they need to rough. So
so I again like a trump lead, and again a trump lead is a big winner here, because it's a key tempo to be able to get trumps off the dummy as quickly as possible.
right, because when they win the spade here and play a club to the jack, Michael gets in and he's going to play a trump then.
Right, it's too late.
Right now, you've only gotten 1 trump off the dummy instead of 2.
Or I guess today it won't be too late because they don't have a clear entry back to their hand to rough the second club. But
Right.
I don't. Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
And so South is expecting the spades to be 4-2 here. But I have to play a club at trick 2. Well, we got the clubs wrong.
East did open a no trump, to be fair.
They did open a no trump.
Now Michael has to be thinking, okay, their minor must be clubs. So we want to stop them from roughing clubs in the dummy, which means we need to lead trumps as quickly as possible, as he has done. And here, Debbie knows that Michael doesn't have the ace or queen. So rather than wasting a heart on her and making it so that she couldn't safely lead hearts from her side,
Right.
she's just going to stick in the 9, making it possible to still lead hearts from her end.
Right.
But here, this is now we can see how important that 1 tempo was. Even
Right.
though she's going to get to lead another heart, Declare is still going to be able to rough their club loser, and so they'll finish down 1. Whereas had they been able to lead trumps sooner, they might have been able to actually beat this 2 tricks, with Declare unable to rough out a club loser.
Right. So now, they just have to lose these three tricks. All right. Well, it was a fun set. Still a close match. Please tune in over the next, the rest of today and tomorrow. We got some great commentators lined up. I think the Berkowitzes are next. Is that right?
Many Berkowitzes.
Yes,
They
also
are.
Parkowitzes.
Yes. They're always put on a good show. So make sure you check that out for the rest of the today and tomorrow, and then we'll have the remainder of the USA2 tournament coming up the next few days. So there's a lot of fun bridge coming from Schaumburg.
Yes, and I think the next set starts at least for VUGRAPH at 4:00 Eastern. It starts back for the players at 3:30 according to the schedule, which would mean that since we're on a 30-minute delay, it'll be 4:00, and there will be so many Berkowitzes.
Yes. So-
Those are not Eastern times, really quick. Those are
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Central times.
Those are central, right? Thank you. Those are central times. So 5 o'clock Eastern. And 4:30 is when the players are starting at 4:30 Eastern, and
Right.
So they have a 1 hour break.
Yeah,
So
for our European friends, that means that the VUGRAPH will start 90 minutes from now.
how many
yes,
meters from now?
yes.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
But
So
I do-
Brian, Adam, Christian, it was great doing this with you. A lot of fun. And thanks for watching, everybody.
Yes,
Thank
thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you,
I guess
Brian.
I've been on all morning, so I will welcome the break and enjoy the Berkowitz show later. So
We will see you all back in 90 minutes. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
See y'all later.
Bye.